The hippo is back, and the ticks are still here. As the giant rises from the river the next morning, water rolls from its massive head, neck, and shoulders. Yesterday, the oxpeckers removed parasite after parasite from its exposed skin, but they did not get them all. Look behind the ears. Deep inside the heavy folds of the neck, swollen ticks are still attached. Others remain scattered across the shoulders and upper back. And before the hippo is even completely out of the water, the hunters return. Red-billed oxpeckers sweep across the river and land directly on the giant. One bird touches down behind the left ear. Another lands on the neck. More settle across the shoulders. There is almost no delay. The first oxpecker lowers its head, examines a deep fold, and finds a swollen tick. It grips, pulls. The parasite holds. The bird releases it. For a moment, the tick remains exactly where it was. The oxpecker tilts its head, takes one step sideways, and tries again. This time, the parasite comes free. The bird swallows it, then immediately looks for another. The second day's hunt has begun, and the easiest targets are no longer everywhere. Yesterday's feeding removed many of the most exposed ticks. What remains is concentrated in protected folds and harder to reach areas. That means every meal now demands more searching. One oxpecker walks slowly around the base of the ear. It checks one wrinkle. Nothing. Then another. Still nothing. It moves deeper behind the ear. Stops. There. A cluster remains hidden in the fold. The bird chooses one tick and pulls it free. Another oxpecker lands beside it and begins searching the same area from a different direction. The two birds are only centimeters apart, but they do not follow the same path. One finds food, the other keeps searching. Across the neck, another bird has discovered a larger parasite. It grips the tick, pulls once. Nothing. Pulls again. Still attached. The hippo flicks its ear. The bird releases its grip and steps away, but it does not abandon the target. Seconds later, it returns. This time, the bill approaches from the side. One sharp pull. The tick comes free. Another meal disappears, but just below it, another parasite remains. And farther inside the fold, there may be more. The oxpeckers keep moving. Search. Pause. Inspect. Pull. Swallow. Then search again. But today, the gaps between successful catches are getting longer. One bird crosses the shoulder without finding anything. Another searches the upper back, stopping twice before moving on. A third abandons the cleaner skin and heads directly toward the neck. The remaining hot spots are beginning to shape the entire hunt. Around the ears, the birds are still busy. Across the broad back, they must work harder. Then the hippopotamus takes another step out of the river. Everything changes again. Water slides away from the lower shoulder. A deep fold that was submerged only moments earlier becomes exposed. And it is not clean. Several ticks remain attached inside it. One oxpecker notices almost immediately. It leaves the neck, crosses the shoulder, and approaches the newly exposed skin. Another bird follows. The first stops above the fold and lowers its bill. One tick is removed. Then another bird finds a second. A feeding area that did not exist seconds ago is suddenly active. This is why the hippo's movement matters. Every step can reveal another hiding place. Every fold emerging from the water can contain parasites the birds have not reached. And every newly exposed patch can restart the hunt. The hippo continues onto the muddy bank. More of its enormous body is available now. The oxpeckers spread out. Some remain near the ears. Others work along the neck. Several move across the shoulders. A few explore the upper flank. But the feeding is not frantic. The birds spend much of their time simply looking. One takes 5 short steps, stops, looks down. Nothing. It turns, checks another wrinkle. Still nothing. Then its head suddenly freezes. The bill drops. A small tick disappears. The bird raises its head and swallows. Success lasts only a moment. Then the search begins again. Nearby, another oxpecker finds something larger. The parasite is swollen and lodged deep inside a fold. The bird grips it and pulls. It does not move. The oxpecker braces its feet, tries again. Still attached. Then the hippo shifts its weight. The bird opens its wings and lifts away. The tick remains. For several seconds, the opportunity appears lost, but the oxpecker circles back. It lands almost exactly where it was before, walks toward the same fold, finds the same parasite, and tries again. This time, it comes free. The bird swallows it and moves on. But the flock has another problem. The hippo never stays perfectly still. Its ears flick. Its skin twitches. Its head turns. Its massive body shifts with every step. Each movement forces the birds to adjust. Some simply tighten their grip. Others open their wings. A few lift away, circle and land again. And every landing creates another search. One bird returns to the upper back. It walks several seconds without finding a parasite. The area is noticeably cleaner than yesterday, so it changes direction. It heads toward the right ear. There, the situation is different. Ticks still remain deep inside protected folds. 2 oxpeckers are already searching. A third arrives. One bird pulls out a small parasite. Another finds nothing. The newcomer pushes farther behind the ear. Its bill disappears briefly into the fold. Then the head rises. A tick is gone, but not all of them. Even after 2 days of feeding, the birds have not completely cleared the hippo, and they may never do so. This is not a perfect cleaning operation. For the oxpeckers, this is feeding. Every tick they find is an opportunity for food. That simple motivation keeps them returning to the same enormous animal again and again. As the afternoon progresses, the hunt becomes more selective. The birds spend less time on the cleaner back and more time around the ears, neck, and protected wrinkles. One oxpecker searches behind the left ear. It finds nothing. Moves lower. Nothing again. Then it stops. A swollen parasite sits deep inside the fold. The bird grips, pulls, swallows. Only seconds later, another bird checks the same fold. It finds a smaller tick that the first bird missed. Even heavily searched skin can still hide another meal, and that keeps the flock moving. Minutes pass. The hippo walks slowly along the riverbank. Birds ride across its back. Others make short flights from shoulder to neck. One lands near the ear and immediately begins searching. Another leaves after several unsuccessful attempts. The feeding ground is constantly changing. Then the giant turns back toward the river. The birds react immediately. Several move higher onto the back. Others remain around the ears. The hippopotamus enters the shallows. Water rises around its legs. The lower flank disappears. One feeding area is gone. Another step. More skin sinks beneath the surface. 2 oxpeckers lift away, but several remain. The remaining birds concentrate on the highest exposed areas. The ears, the upper neck, the back. One oxpecker is still searching behind the right ear. It checks one fold. Nothing. A second. Nothing. The water rises higher. The bird moves toward the base of the ear. Stops. Its head tilts. One final swollen tick is still exposed. The bill closes around it. The bird pulls. For a moment, the parasite refuses to move. The hippo takes another step. Water climbs farther up its body. The oxpecker holds its position. It adjusts its grip. Pulls again. The tick comes free. The bird swallows. Then the hippo sinks deeper. The oxpecker opens its wings and lifts away. Across the river, the rest of the flock is already moving toward the bank. The giant remains behind. Only its head, ears, eyes, nostrils, and the highest part of its back remain above the water. The hunt is over for today. But look closely. The hippo is still not completely free of parasites. A few ticks remain hidden in protected folds. Others may be attached to skin now beneath the surface. The birds removed what they could reach. Tomorrow may reveal more. And that is what makes this hunt different. There is no single final attack, no instant victory, no moment when every parasite suddenly disappears. Instead, the relationship continues through repetition. The hippo emerges. The ticks become accessible. The oxpeckers arrive. They search. They feed. The hippo moves. New areas appear. Then the water hides them again. Day after day, the same cycle can begin once more. For the hippopotamus, the birds may remove some of the parasites attached to accessible skin. For the oxpeckers, the giant's body remains a moving feeding ground. One enormous animal, dozens of small hunters, and countless places for their next meal to remain hidden. But tomorrow, the birds may not be the only ones searching, because farther along the riverbank, another massive body is beginning to rise from the water, and the oxpeckers have already noticed. The hunt is about to move to a new host.